Hello, YouTube. YouTube. I know this is probably not the latest news since I haven't checked it in the last 10 minutes, but as it always in this administration, every few minutes, there's some other breaking news story. These people, they're all television people. Most of them are from Fox News. He's taking all of these damn TV personalities and giving them prominent positions in the White House, right? So now this Jeanine Pirro is her name, Jeanine Pirro woman, who was a Fox News host, who was on the part of their Big Five, where they go and say all this stupid ass Republican shit. He done made her whatever her position is. She is the one in charge of Washington D.C. situation where they're claiming, first of all, they're claiming that Washington D.C. is so goddamn dangerous, child, that they had to bring in the National Guard. Hey, thanks, Talks with Tara. Appreciate it. I mean, come on, people. Here's her solution. First, they said that Washington, D.C. was so dangerous, they had to clean up all the homeless people, all the criminals. In other words, they're going to throw a bunch of niggas in jail. That's their solution, correct? They got all this goddamn military all over Washington, D.C., right? Washington, D.C. is one of the few majority or near majority black communities in the United States, right? They're pouncing on Washington, D.C. because the crime rate is so high and nobody feels safe to go out to dinner. Or our illustrious leader, Donald Trump, said, oh, they're scared to go to dinner. They haven't been together in years. They haven't been to right. The people roaming the streets, girl, and it is a whole thing is a crime zone. So Mr. Pirro, her solution is we're going to have open carry in Washington, D.C. Now, how in the fuck is that going to work out? We got school shootings where these kids getting a hold to their parents' guns, honey, walking in here with AR-9s and all this shit, shooting these innocent little kids and all this kind of stuff. You say Washington, D.C. is so violent. It is so violent that people are scared to go to dinner and all this violence. And in the midst of that, you want to add open carry guns. In other words, you can walk into your Burger King carrying your machine gun on your back. A political city, right? So if you don't like Senator such and such, right, you go to his rallies and you've got a machine gun strapped to your back and you don't like that senator. You don't like that congressman, right? They're always having all these damn rallies and all this shit and all these crowds in Washington, D.C., and you want them all to be walking around with guns. Well, see, in her racist, bigoted ass mind, she thinks that only the white people are going to carry the guns, right? But these very people who you say the city is so dangerous, now they can walk around with machine guns. You can't make it open carry for that group and not open carry for that group, right? If they don't have a record, they can go buy a machine gun and carry it right there on their strap like you're in the Wild Wild West or some goddamn where. So stupid. These are stupid people. Yesterday, was it a day ago? Was it a day ago that John F. Kennedy, over the weekend, this dude who has made his whole life complaining about a vaccine because he was unfortunate enough to have a situation where it has left him handicapped for his life. He is on now full assault. Everybody's supposed to be handicapped because nobody can have vaccines. Did we not watch 1 million people get killed from the COVID vaccine? I mean, before we had a COVID vaccine, wasn't the whole goal to get a COVID vaccine like in pretty much all diseases, child? They wanted a vaccine, and didn't it pretty much wipe out COVID? But the problem is it's not totally wiped out. That means that the moment he stops letting people be vaccinated, it could catch on in any pocket. It could catch on in Ohio. If it could catch on originally in Asia and make its way all the way over to here, how hard is it to get from Ohio to California? It's going to be all over the country again. And for what? What are you trying to accomplish? This fool is convinced. He's convinced that vaccines cause, what is it? What is it called? God damn it, my brain. Anyway, he says the vaccines cause the disease. Can y'all help me out? John F. Kennedy, a disgrace to his family. And what is his reasoning? Why can't I remember stuff like this? He said vaccines cause. Oh, I can't accept this. Hold on a minute, people. Y'all ain't gonna help me, so I gotta help myself. Thank God for the machines. Okay. Just put JFK. JFK. Vaccines. JSK and vaccines. Health crisis. Millions of people talking about. I just need one question answered. I don't want to listen to him. Vaccine policy. He's changing the vaccine policy. God damn it. I'm not listening to him. Anyway, autism. Thank you, Gail. Thank you for your mercy and your kindness, Gail. I'm asking people just to help me out, honey. Wait till y'all get to be damn near 70 years old. Anyway, back to the story. He says that vaccines cause autism, right? We just saw all these lives saved in America. I'm happy that I can get on public transportation now. I'm happy that I can go into a supermarket without wearing a mask. I'm happy that I can go into a restaurant and I don't have to have my face covered while I'm trying to eat, right? What is his purpose? Is America so poor? When do we get to be so goddamn poor? We can't even afford the vaccines. Oh, that's right. It caused autism. And John F. Kennedy, why does it cause autism, honey? You're not a scientist. You're not a doctor. You have no medical credential at all. And Donald Trump makes you the head of the whole enchilada. You're making all the decisions. So you just come in and decide we don't need vaccines no more. Ignored all the millions of lives that have been saved, not only here, but around the world because of the fucking vaccines. Right? What is it because you want to save some dollars? Now, this fool, she's open carry. Are you serious? You talking about how dangerous Washington, D.C. is. How dangerous is it going to be when you get there and people have got machine guns strapped to their back? How easy is it for kids to get a hold of these guns, these machine guns and shotguns and shit when they're all over the house, child? I mean, guns are one of the primary problems in the United States. So she comes up with that, and she is not got the kind of power. Now, y'all may say, oh, it's her decision. It's her. No, she got instructions from crazy ass Donald Trump, who don't know what the fuck he's talking about half the time, right? And he said, oh, it'd be nice to have some guns. Strong. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if she's already implemented this. What is she? She's what's her position? She's over the crime. She's a judge, right? How can a judge come up with something so stupid? There's got to be some shit came out of Donald Trump's mind. They just spin it up, then they come and they present it to us like it's their ideas. Oh, I think we should have guns in Washington, D.C., right? Well, you said you just cleared out all the criminals. You said you cured crime in Washington, D.C. And what was it been, 3 weeks? And then you're going to set your sights on Chicago next, correct? As I've said before, people, I hope I'm not belaboring it. Big cities have crime or have substantially more crime. Because why? Because millions of people live there. Millions of people live there. And you think you're going to strap all the white people up with guns? What the fuck are you going to do to this country, Donald Trump? When is it going to be enough? Enough is enough, honey. You going to flood the Washington, D.C. with all these goddamn guns? Well, who's next? Should we give them machine guns in Chicago, too? Everybody in the goddamn cabinet used to work for Fox News. Pretty much. No credential at all. No competence. They just do what he say. And he don't even know what the fuck he's talking about half time. I don't know if it's me, but did I see Donald Trump, the last picture taken of him with a baseball hat on it and no hair around? He's been cultivating these $600 hairdos since he was a boy, right? He's always been bald with a comb over. Now he got the baseball hat and there's no hair. Now, you guys guess, in case I'm wrong, why do people suddenly cut all their hair off and they got bruises on their hands? And we only see the hand. Remember now, we can talk about the hand all we want to. That's because that's the only part we actually see. What's going on all the rest of him? And why was he missing? Why was he missing for all these days, honey? Right? Chemo treatment much? That's why I don't understand why they let this pathological liar in office twice. Doesn't make any goddamn sense. You can't believe anything that dude says, honey. If he's on his deathbed, we would never know anything about it, child. He would just hand it over to JD Vance. How y'all doing? Hi, Saber Winners and Jesse. Oh, Jesse, you know I can't speak to you. I got to speak to some other people. What's going on, Darius? Jesse, child, every time you wake up, these are television junkies, honey. They want to be famous. They want to be on TV. She had her own show. He had his own show. Headset had his own show. They all had their own goddamn show. And several others from his cabinet, they all had their own show. Why did Donald Trump make his decision? I saw him on TV. So since they're on Fox News, then that means that they are in sync with him. As long as they'll carry out all of his dastardly deeds. Open carrying on. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard of, child. Is she a judge? What kind of judge are you? You're another Donald Trump kiss ass, right? You people, you have no integrity. You have no problem going on every goddamn day on that motherfucking station, which is a comedy show, right? You got no problem going there kissing this fool's ass, even though you know he's wrong at every turn. Everything he does is immoral. You don't care about immoral. You drinking the Kool-Aid. That'd make you mad, honey. Now they done told him that his invasion of Los Angeles is illegal. Oh, there was people on 2 blocks in downtown Los Angeles. Therefore, we must invade Los Angeles with the military. They done told him how many times they got to tell him no, but this time when he caused the insurrection and when he did that shit with trying to turn over the election, he wouldn't accept the election results. Then he go to like 60 courts and each one of them said, no, nothing wrong with the election. Nothing wrong with the election. He's still saying the same goddamn thing. And that's who they're following behind. Don't you care about this country at all, people? Don't you care about anything other than kissing Donald Trump's ass? This country in bad shape. Hi, TLCN3, moderator. Child, I ain't watched the news in the last hour. If I went on there right now, he's on there giving some kind of speech today. God only knows what he's going to do. I mean, it's all about publicity. It's all about being out in front. It's all about these major decisions. He has to make a major decision every time he shows his ugly ass. Correct? So let me just do an example. Sometimes y'all don't believe me when I'm talking. Okay, so I caught that story 1 hour ago. Let's see what's going on now. Epstein bomb, explosive, pressure on Trump as victims speak in bipartisan. Oh, I got to check that one out. That's on MSNBC. Okay, hold on a minute. How far will America public allow Trump to go? That's Rachel Maddow. Heading to D.C. to see if our leaders are really, that's John Lemon. Every goddamn channel. Unrecognizable, says Tabitha. Unrecognizable. And they showed a picture of this old man, child, with a bald head. Why would he shave his, after all these years of struggling to keep that little blonde shit on top of his head? Why would he shave it off? Now he's on the stage right now. Trump makes defense announcement at the White House. Are you still going to move in some, oh, wait a minute. Ah, damn. Oversight committee members. Every channel, he's doing something different. It's depressing. People, we have to limit how much we can watch of this bullshit because you can't do anything about it, right? And that kind of person, he'll take the ball and he'll just run with it. He don't care what you think. He don't care about what you report. He don't give a shit about nothing. He is in charge. He is the boss. You got the whole Supreme Court. The Congress, and the Senate. All they don't even use the Congress. They might as well fire all them. Right? They don't do nothing. They should be the ones putting stops on this fool. What happened to three equal parts of government? They done turned into one voice in government. That woman ain't came up with that shit by herself, child. He winds them up and tell them what to say. They run out there and say it with a smile on their face. And that goddamn blonde broad supposed to be the one that makes the Kristi Noem. That thing makes me want to throw up on my television. She's on the smug, nasty way she says things, child. She takes pleasure in his cruelty. Pitiful is what I say. What else is happening, people? I know there's more, but he's on there now. Some fool, he got no military experience at all, dodged the service. What was it, 4 times with the bone spurs, child? He does, but yet he knows all about how to run wars all over the goddamn world. He comes on here and lies and claims he done stopped 11 wars. Really? Yet we have no knowledge of any of them being stopped. The people who were killing people are still killing them. You over here talking about how much Putin likes me. Oh, we're great. He has a great amount of respect for me. I don't see why he would lie. Well, girl, why don't you count the hundreds of thousands of people who he has murdered, Donald Trump, since you want to tell us how friendly you are. RFK, they if he ain't even got enough balls to fire that motherfucker and just to make an example, or listen, Trump could say, listen, I want to be taken seriously as your president. Obviously, JFK has got mental illness and he's incompetent. He's completely incompetent for that post. So we're going to accept that as a mistake. We made a mistake and we want to correct that mistake. We need someone serious in the White House, particularly concerning COVID, because COVID is still here. It's not raging as it was, but it could get out of hand at any point if nobody's getting injections. Old people, you say, oh, they can get it if they're over 65. Well, old people, they not out there in the streets. They're not out there hanging out in the supermarkets, honey, in the restaurants. No, child, old people are at home, honey. Right? So all the ones that still out there, those are the ones you don't want them to get infected. You don't want them to get vaccinated. So the vaccine, that just goes across the board. Any vaccines. They got outbreaks of measles, outbreaks of everything. And he is basing this because I saw the kids at the airport. I said, their kids are not supposed to look like that. The kids are not. Now, how in the hell, how incompetent do you have to be that you would put somebody like that in charge of the medical, I don't remember what this thing is called, but in charge of all the major decisions concerning our health. We got people walking out on their jobs, career people. We got scientists and doctors, people who worked on infectious disease. They're walking out on their job. He tried to fire the head of them. She didn't agree with me. What you're saying, RFK, doesn't make any goddamn sense. You saw some kids. How many kids did you see at the airport to make a decision about the lives of millions of children? I saw that. Look in their eyes. They have autism. Well, maybe there did happen to be a family that had 2 kids had autism in the airport on that same day. I don't know why, since you're not a doctor, you're not a scientist, how you can just look at them and say they got autism. Well, I'm sure there are kids. We're not denying that there are kids with autism. That don't mean it came from no goddamn COVID shot. Aren't the majority born with it? I think he's very resentful of his own state. I mean, he has struggled to make even a sentence, right? Is there a connection there? Should he be sitting on somebody's couch? Sorry, laying on somebody's couch to figure out what are your hostilities, honey? What do you hope to accomplish by taking away the vaccines that have saved millions and millions of lives? Because of the decision you made? Because somebody you saw at the airport? Are you still jumping in pools of infected water? What were you going to prove with that? Should we all take our clothes off and go and find the dirtiest, filthiest, nastiest water in America and jump in it? And what would we be accomplishing with that, RFK? Disgrace to the family name. I don't think even his own family, when he was trying to run for president, how you gonna just switch over? You were a Democrat, and then to get this job that Trump done promised you, you just switch over just like that. Decision you made in one day, like your decision on vaccines. That should have been disqualifying. How in the fuck you gonna be in charge of the CDC and you don't even believe in vaccinating America? So what is your purpose? I was right. You're going to be like Donald Trump. I guess he wants to get him a hat too. Kennedy was right about everything. A grown-ass man. Supposed to be somebody's president. Trump was right about everything. What kind of stupid, childish-ass shit is that, child? Disgraceful. Got to repeat. My mouth is dry. Anyway. They is not fair? Okay. They are trying to make Chocolate City vanilla damn. I guess you feel like the white people are going to protect themselves by carrying away AR-9s. I'm sure that they're not trying to arm the gangbangers, right? You think I cured the gangbangers. I cured them. You didn't cure shit, girl. These are teenagers. If the problem is with all these teenagers, girl, their mama lives there, their sisters live there, their brothers live there, their grandmamas live there, probably their great grandmama lives there, right? They don't just leave. What do they do? Just ride off into the sunset? While the Democrats try to get gun legislation, this woman done brought her ass up in the White House, child, from her TV show. She had to quit the TV show to go up in the White House. And then she got to do something because she wants to be famous, right? So she'll go do something outrageous, child. And she wants to bring guns. And they were talking about automatic weapons. So are you so fearful because you said you can't go to the restaurant? You're so scared in Washington, D.C.? People have been going to restaurants in Washington, D.C. for 200 years, but you're so scared. So you need them to carry the machine guns and shotguns and they just sit it right there in the restaurant with them. What about when the shootout takes place? That's the answer. Since they can't keep the military in there but 30 days, they're going to replace the military and make everybody militarized. We going back to the cowboy days. We going to make America great again. We going to make it white again. Kill their asses. Mm-hmm. He won't send them to the red states. They showed charts, child, of what the highest murder rates and the highest criminal rates in the whole country. The majority of them are red states. He ain't said a peep about sending these armed military into none of these towns that voted for him. They're Republicans. Only the blue states. Chicago didn't even make the top 10. Right? They going crazy in the South, honey. No interest in that. Now we sit up here watching him trying to fix the damn elections, honey, and add seats, all this redistricting shit. This is all out of his mouth. He does it right in our face. He doesn't give a fuck. Cheers. Oh, Justin's here. What's going on, Justin? I mean, give me some more news here. There are more guns in the U.S. than there are people. That's the truth. There are indeed more guns. Am I live again? Is this thing recording? Y'all tell me. Am I live? We see you? Okay. Tim, stop saying that word, the G-U-N. Ain't that a bitch? You can't even talk about. These people are taking over our country. They got the whole goddamn military invading our cities. And now they want to arm us as well, and we can't say the word G-U-N. They might be the ones that might be why my channel went dead. Is that what happened, Shayna? Okay, next caller. You better respect me. Wait a minute. That's next caller. You ain't talking. You're out here wasting my time. What's on your mind? Next caller. Bitch, you ain't talking about nothing, bitch. Let me see. Justin always got good information. Let's see. Trump loves hiring drunks. Pete Hegseth, Jeanine Shapiro, Larry Kudlow. He likes hiring people on TV. That's the only connection, even when he was running, only connection he had with the people was Fox News. Hey, but Trump, where do you get your news? What are your sources of information? He said, oh, I just watched the shows. I could have fell through the floor. We said that. You watch the show. That's what we supposed to do, Donald Trump. Come out here and tell us what's wrong with you, man. Are you really on your way out? Would you tell us? What you need more money for? Everything's about money, money, money. And as soon as he leaves, they're going to spend the next 10, 15 years investigating what he did with all his money. Everything's about money, 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 money. He collected for his family. And they're going to say, well, Donald Trump, if you want to cut all the services to the people, and you don't want them to have Medicare, you don't want them to have Medi-Cal, only because Obama gave it to them. You don't want them to have SNAP. You don't even want them to eat. So what'd you do with the money? You save all this money, you said. You said they're going to give you, your tariffs are going to give them millions and millions and millions. Even though a judge, it seems like every week, every other week, tells you, no, you can't do that. It's unconstitutional. He doesn't give a damn what's unconstitutional. He just makes it up as he goes along, child. That's horrible. Everything that's never been done before, that's what he does. Oh, it's never been done. No one's ever seen anything like it. And so that's what he does. Trump. He loves hiring people that will kiss his ass. That's all that is, John. He didn't want nobody competent there. He probably resented them even stopping him from all the destruction he tried to cause in his first term. Right? Remember when you came in and COVID, your answer to COVID is just going to go away. You're going to wake up. It'll be gone. Or if that didn't work, you can, they're doing things with bleach. You can shoot up the bleach. This is the level of competence you have in the White House, honey. And everybody who he is assigned on his cabinet, they're all dumber than him. Right? Because he got to be the smartest one. They got to spend 2 hours going around a table telling him how smart and how wonderful he is. For every meeting, that's your cabinet meeting. We got to kiss your ass. Aren't there any problems that need to be solved in America, Donald Trump? Most people want their legacy to reflect something they've done good in the world, honey. Right? They want to bring a Social Security. They want to bring Medicare, Medi-Cal. So the people, we're the richest country in the world. We shouldn't be sleeping on the street. Or people going to the emergency room because it's packed because they can't afford to get no damn insurance, child. And they're only getting the bare minimum of service. Right? Put a Band-Aid on them. Put their ass back out there in the coal mine. A white kid's trying to put the black kid in the... What? Uncle Tim, did you see the video of the white kids trying to put the black kid in a meat grinder? No, I missed that one, Justin. God damn. He encourages all the bigotry and hatred and all that shit, child. I guess out in some of them places, that shit still goes over, right? He resents all big cities, yet he's from the big city, the biggest city in the goddamn country. Right, Donald Trump? Did they keep you locked in rooms and limousines and you never encountered the people? Because you should have more of a connection with people in big cities since you're from New York City or Queens or wherever. Since you're from the boroughs, you would think that you would know people in the neighborhoods, right? You don't know shit. You just go sit up there on your gold throne and make decisions. And a whole cabinet. Not one person competent. Not one person's ever even done public service of any kind. Nothing. They just go from being millionaires, people obsessed with money, to being in charge of the government. Your cousin and niece currently have COVID? Isn't that something? Honey, that thing could catch on just like a wildfire, like it happened before. Remember, that happened fast, honey. In 2 or 3 weeks, honey, this country was infected with COVID. And this fool wants to take away the vaccines with no proof of nothing. He's not a scientist. He's not a doctor. He's not shit. He's supposed to be a lawyer. I'm going to show what Almost right. Almost his own family. Tell him, don't run. Don't run. Sit down some goddamn where. Okay, you got a bad... Something bad. I don't know what's wrong with that dude's brain. He has some kind of worm in his brain or some kind of shit like that, right? Why is he obsessed with being in politics? You're not your uncles. You're just not. Your father, uncles, whatever. The Kennedy name used to mean something, honey. And weren't they all Democrats? They were all Democrats, right? So what is your loyalty to Trump? Your loyalty is to power. And what you going to do with the power? Try to stop all vaccines? What did that do? Did you save Trump a few $1 million? The way RFK and Trump seem to have some mental issues themselves. Well, they definitely, both of them crazy. And a lot of this shit that we're hearing, those are Trump ideas. Ideas he made just before he sat down in the chair. He didn't even know what he's going to talk about. Do this, do that, do this, do that. Now they got guns in Washington, D.C. Everybody open carry. Jesus Christ. I stopped the women from getting abortions. I stopped them from. You did a great service to America, Donald Trump. Now you are in control of women's vaginas, all of them. RFK said he voted for Trump because the Democrats didn't invite him to an event. That man's crazy. But it's not only just him. Just the point that Trump would appoint someone like that to be over our health, to make major decisions concerning our health, the health of 300 million people. Oh, you don't need a Medicare. Go to work. Go to work. Well, we can go to work, child. That don't mean we don't get cancer, right? People still need medical coverage. You don't even want to fight for the people to get a decent wage so they can buy their own goddamn insurance. They barely scratching by to get by. I don't know what he thinks the government is for. That's why they shouldn't put just businessmen in charge of the goddamn government. I'm gonna save money here. That's like a business person. I'm gonna save money here, save money there. What you do with it? Can we see what you did with all the money you saved, Donald Trump? All these trillions and trillions of dollars. Oh, I'm concerned about the debt. I'm concerned about the debt in 30 years. No, they don't like us because of our color. I don't know where he think he's gonna get a good result after strapping everybody up in Washington D.C. And if your complaint was your complaint was the violence, how in the fuck are you fixing the violence by everybody having open carry? She got some old Texas ideas, you know. Oh, we had no crime back in the 1826. Everybody just shot each other. Remember, they come out in the street and they do the thing like that. Pow! And somebody dead. That's what you want to return us to, Jeanine Shapiro. So strange that we didn't even know we had all this problem in Washington, D.C., that it was so dangerous for you to take your white ass to a restaurant. Yeah, how long you been living there? All cities got good and bad neighborhoods, honey. Right? He gonna go in there fucking around in Chicago. Yes, Chicago's a huge city, and it's got millions of people in it, child. So yes, you're gonna have some crime in Chicago, child. But on the other hand, of Chicago is one of the most beautiful cities in America, right? It ain't like it's a what you call it, a cesspool. Is that true about Chicago? When you look at, I mean, I like HGTV, House Hunters, those kind of shows, and they're showing people living in Chicago. That doesn't look like no cesspool to me. Any more than New York City is, honey. Some of the most creative people live in these big cities, child. Yes, they have crime. Why they got crime? Because they got millions of people there. Millions and millions of them. Said New York City got something like 36 million people during the day. 36 million people in there, honey. He gonna go fucking around in there too? Give everybody a gun? You something else, Justin. Trump's ear supposedly gets blown off. It healed 100%, but he can't get a simple bruising off his hand. There's something going on with that hand, honey. They showed a picture of Queen Elizabeth. Was it Elizabeth? She has the exact same scarring on her hand as he does 2 days before she died. So it looks like there is some hair Earlier today, I saw he was bald underneath the cap. What's going on, honey? He just does something every other day. So he's the boss. Mm-hmm. Musk got him in office, and when he was through with Musk, he threw him away. Did he say now that he's going to move the whole space system somewhere else to another state? I think that's another one of the stories I saw today. That's a direct slap in the face of Elon Musk. Elon was getting trillions of dollars out of that. Well, certainly multiple hundreds of millions. Let me see. His plan was for trillions. Where's that at? Let me see. No, there I am. There I am. No, that ain't it. Oh, man. It'd be a headline, right? America's getting petty, frustrated about U.S. economy. That's one. Leaked Trump call exposes health scandal as he goes public. Okay. He's public now. Trump ends Secret Service protection for Harris, Kamala Harris. Speaker Johnson. Girl, every channel, every day. Anyway, he's got some kind of plan. Oh, I love the AI memes. He got some kind of plan to move the whole space system out of wherever it is. That's stepping on Musk's toes. He used him to get everything, all he could get out of him, basically to get into office. And he threw him away almost immediately after his little Doge, what was it, 6 months? Soon as that contract was up, honey, he threw him out. And now he wants to take the whole space system from him. He's a child. He brags about getting even with people. How can you be a president if you're bragging about getting even with people for something they did in the election, or something they did 30 years ago, or the school you went to, or whatever, Donald Trump? JD Vance is something else. Oh my God. Well, we'll go from one. We got to fight one fight at a time. Getting Trump out of office would be the main thing. Or at least in the midterms, freezing him up so he can't do shit. Because he just goes crazy. Every damn day he comes up with a new scheme, a new plan. We weren't even talking before the LA raid. We weren't even talking about all this danger in America, honey. All the crime. And then the people go, this military goes to Los Angeles, and we saw them every day. They sitting around on the floor, honey. Some people didn't even have a mattress, and they weren't doing nothing. Right? Then he wants to make ICE the biggest law enforcement agency in America. Why should ICE get all this attention, child? We have real crime here. You said that we had all this crime going on here, right? You had to bring in the military. Baby, we gotta hope that shit don't get out of hand in Chicago. We better hope. Hey, this fool is so incompetent. He can't handle something like that, child. What is Chicago? Like 5-6 times the size of Washington, D.C. All them people, the ones you say are so dangerous. You think everybody just gonna pack up their little campsite and move to El Segundo some damn where? Then what you gonna do about El Segundo? The entire cabinet, every single one of them is incompetent. They haven't been no mayor. They ain't been no congresswoman or congressman. They haven't been shit. Just TV people. And basically, Fox ain't nothing but reality TV. Hectic. Come on, man. The bruising is on both hands now. Well, I'm not a doctor, so I don't know what the fuck it is. I know if you get, sometimes if you don't have any veins in your arms, they'll have no choice but to go into your hands. That could cause bruising. If you're on blood thinners, just from what I know from my own experience, if you're on blood thinners, people with thin skin like that, that could cause bruising. Aspirin, some people are on baby aspirin for the rest of their life. That can cause bruising. I've seen similar bruising. So we don't know. He gonna come on today and with all his new list of lies and all this shit he got to do. You don't have to do none of this shit, Donald Trump. All we wanted you to do is maintain the government, address the issues of this country, correct the interest. The issue was never Mexican people being here or living here, right? This used to be Mexico. You don't even want them even to farm the land. They did major services here in America. You come out, you're gonna run them all out because they taking all the black jobs. Nigga, I'm not picking your grapes, tomatoes, onions, right? Why you going fucking with those people? And all they did was work. Anyway, I didn't bored y'all enough with this bullshit, y'all. Hulk Hogan did not get the press that he would have if he never came out supporting Trump. Hulk Hogan, is he part of his cabinet too? I think Trump is going to make it. And we're going to have, yeah, if we get Vance, we're going to have a whole nother list of problems. Keep an eye on him too, because we're going to have to fight him next. Right? We're going to have to fight. Should I get a new chair? That big boy, he did have one good point. I cannot get comfortable in this chair. Hold on. Or maybe it's better without no damn pillow. I don't know. One day I just put the pillow on there and I've been fighting it ever since. Let's see. Maybe a pillow was never even required. What MAGA would do because they are not fans of J.D. Vance. So it would be a fight between MAGA and Republican. Ain't that a bitch? You would have something like J.D. Vance in the damn White House. We lost our way, people. We got to accept it. We lost our way. And I had more respect for my fellow Americans. I just couldn't believe they would allow this to happen. And particularly, maybe they could stumble into it in his first administration. But they know who he is now. They know exactly who he is. And now he's doing it without any kind of support at all. Not one competent person in his cabinet. All they do is go into that office and kiss his stinking pink ass every day. What would you have to say about me? Oh, Mr. Trump, I bought you a gold item. It's from the Isle of Pessimists. Donald Trump spent more time on his decorating, honey. His decorating and plans for ballrooms and shit like that. Stuff that's supposed to be done by the first lady, I would think. I would think she would be in charge of that kind of. But Melania Trump, she doesn't seem to want to have anything to do with him, right? It seems like a marriage of convenience. Since he's the president, he can't very well get a divorce now, right? She was barely in there the first time when he had the first one. I mean, what kind of first lady is that? She don't even take an interest in it. Now he done promised her so many millions. Oh, if you stay for 4 more years, I'll give you 94 million. Trump is on blood thinners and aspirin. Trump's doctors came out and said that. Is that what they said? Well, you can't believe what they said. What his doctors say don't mean nothing. Everything come out of the damn place is a lie. They just do whatever he says do. That's what they do. I think he makes the shit up as he's going along. Totally, absolutely incompetent. No plans. He ain't no plan. Most of people trying to implement Social Security. implement health care for this country like every other country in the world. We were lagging way behind. We would have been better off with Bernie or Kamala. Reasonable people, smart people. Oh, that's so sweet. They should have invited me in to decorate the White House. I did a better job than him. Just because you have a piece of gold in you own gold, ladies, y'all know this. That don't mean you got to put all your gold on at the same time. You don't need 20 bracelets. You know, how many earrings can you get in your ears, girl? It just becomes tacky at some point, right? What's he doing? Every time he turned the damn TV on, he done added more gold pieces. He says it's real gold. It's real. You're the president. What the fuck you care about gold pictures? Mr. Trump would not understand how Uncle Tim decorates. He'd understand that. I'm a decent decorator. If I had a couple $1 million to work with, honey, I'm sure I could be an exceptional designer. And I think there's a few other million designers in this country that do a whole lot better job than Donald Trump. He wants to do it on his own. You would think if you're the president, you would be so busy. You would have other things to do instead of surrounding yourself by gold and sycophants, people to kiss your stinking ass, right? One bad decision after another. All these, every damn court in the country and told his ass these tariffs is a bad idea. Every country and told him these tariffs are a bad idea. What's so wrong with doing business with other countries? What's wrong with it? It's been working. You want to claim to be the richest country in the world. So it's been working. Capitalism. So what are you going to get out of the deal, Donald Trump? So far, you ain't never did nothing. You have never done anything for anybody except for yourself. You have destroyed business after business after business with your stupid ass ideas, right? You've destroyed Atlantic City. I mean, casinos? How in the hell you lose money on casinos? Just the thought that you would want to be in that business, honey. Most casino people, those are gangsters in Atlantic City. At least in the time that you had them, those were mostly run by gangsters. You want to be a gangster? Is that what you're doing with the American government? Are you a gangster? You threaten people. You withhold people's financing. You take away their tax exempt status, which is in millions and millions and millions of dollars. You extort money from all of these colleges in the billions. What do you do that for? 300 million people? And what, we're broke? Nike's gonna shut down? Their producers are not getting what? Now Nike is about to shut down. I haven't heard the Nike story. Major corporations in America can come and tell them, oh, we want 10% from now on. If that's not gangster shit, it ain't nothing but a gangster ball. It ain't nothing but, nigga, this a gangster ball. It ain't nothing but party, doom, doom, doom. That's gangster shit. You go here telling all these schools and all these lawyers, everybody got to pay you, right? And so we're supposed to believe that they're actually paying it to the government. We're going to save $34 trillion. Mm-hmm. Could care less about the people who actually live in this country. They just as American as you, Trump. Maybe your daddy convinced you that you're some kind of special breed and it's really your country. We're just in it. We're all from shithole countries. Is that what you believe, Donald Trump? That's how you're acting. Don't listen. Don't pay attention to what he says. Look at what he does. How many black people you put in them prisons in Washington, D.C., Donald Trump? Aren't the prisons in America isn't there they're trying to privatize the prison systems? That would mean that the only way you can make that as a working operation is to have more people in jail. Is that why you're assaulting these countries? I mean, these major cities. Is that what? Is that why you need the people in Washington D.C.? You say they're teenagers, right? So you're gonna lock up all the teenagers? What, you gonna give them 30 years, 40 years, and that'll keep the prison complex. That'll keep it going, right? Because it's privately owned. And since you're no longer the president, you can get all the stock you want in these companies, right? You talking about you the big deal maker. How many deals did you make with the prison system, right? Donald Trump, he's just getting started, people. He ain't been in there but what, 7, 8 months? He's just getting started. That's why he got to be stopped in the midterm. Then he gonna just cheat on the midterm and do it right in your face. He don't give a fuck what you think about it. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. Maybe if you're gonna save all them trillions, you could certainly deal with homelessness. Honey, you could have whole homeless cities, that kind of coin. Then you go around in these cities, you see all these empty ass buildings. The people who don't know, damn near all of downtown San Francisco is empty. Right? Now, why would you have people laying all over the goddamn street and you got all these buildings, all these failed businesses, they're all empty? Damn mall down there is empty, stores, fronts. But if you got nobody down there working, you got nobody to buy the sandwiches, child. Those closed too. Correct? Emptiness everywhere. And then we got the highest rent in the goddamn country. Highest rent and the most homeless. Why don't you focus on that, Donald Trump? Do something memorable for somebody else. Try it. All right, you wonderful darlings. Thank you for participating and listening to my ranting. Y'all have a wonderful, the weather here is gorgeous, honey. It's been gorgeous for 3 days. So we get our summers late. So we should have had this kind of weather 2 months ago, but y'all's summer is ending and ours is just beginning. So maybe I'll go out and try to find me a husband again, girl. I've been looking for 30 years. 30 years. Someday he'll come along, the man I love, and he'll be big and strong, this man that I love. I'll do my best to make him stay. You want some more? We'll build a little home just meant for two, from which I'll never roam. I'm dreaming of the man I love. Thanks for coming in, guys. Later.